Spirit and Soul, where Atlanta's service industry unpacks raw and provocative truths, share hilarious commentary about their unique industry experiences.
That's the true story.
All right. Welcome to Spirit and Soul Podcast, a space where we share anecdotes, lessons, recipes, and the personalities of those in the service industry here in Atlanta. We all love a great cocktail, but the industry is much more than that. We got soul too, and that's why you love us so much. So I'm your host, Courtney, and our guest today is Terrill Patterson with the Rellies Hospitality.
Hey, we ain't here. Hello.
I'm super excited to have Terrill today. He's a good friend of mine. He's doing his thing. He's a plug. He advises me when I need help. He points me in the right direction. He makes introductions where needed. He's like a big brother, kind of. I would say that, like a big brother.
All right.
Yeah.
I like that.
You said all right. Like,
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. There's nothing
I
wrong
would
with
say
that.
like that because it's like I wouldn't quite say I wouldn't say a mentor. You know what I'm saying? You know, but something close to it, but not quite. But
we haven't made it to that level yet.
yeah, I just don't think we have.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Are you insulted? Sorry.
Okay.
I'm-
No, just kidding.
Okay, I'm like, I mean, I think you would have to spend a lot more, you would have to invest a lot more into me for it to be a mentorship.
Mhm.
Not that you haven't put a lot
No.
into, you know, what I do. Like, you've helped me a lot. So, okay.
We're not mentors like
Yeah.
mentor, like, hey, I need a mentor.
Yes,
No,
exactly.
No, not like that.
Okay. All right, so we're on the same page. So on today's episode, I want to highlight small business owners, specifically Rellies Hospitality, small businesses that are killing the game in our industry. And I've known Terrill for quite some time now. He's just one of those people that you need to know if you're in this industry. He's a plug. He's for us. He looks out. Like I was saying earlier, he's constantly sharing resources. He's about that hustle, and to me, that's inspiring, and it definitely played a part into my personal journey with Spirit and Soul Mobile Bar Co. Rellies Hospitality is one of the largest staffing companies in Atlanta, and he specializes in events, but he also staffs up different establishments with servers, hosts, bartenders, barbacks, you name it, he's got you. He's also the mastermind behind the Rellies Mixologist of the Year Awards, which features some of the best mixologists in Atlanta, Nashville, and Miami. So there is no limit to what this man can do, and I'm just really happy to have you here today. Finally!
Well, thank you. I said I was going to come here first. We ain't here.
Right.
We've been talking about this for a while. You've been doing it for a while, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, same.
She was there on my last day.
Literally, I mean, let's go ahead and address it. That was on my list of things to talk about.
We can do that later.
Nope, you brought it up.
We can ease into that.
We don't gotta ease it. Listen, what I like to do here is if it comes up, we're addressing it because I think that helps with like the free flow form of conversation, and I be trying to like stick to that because sometimes everyone knows I can be super calculated and like too much by the book. So it helps me just like relax, girl. Just go with the flow. So since you brought it up. Terrill, I don't even know where to start. Basically, I've been writing a book about the service industry and in Atlanta, and I was interviewing a lot of bartenders, and I was like, before I started the podcast, and I was going around to like all of my friends, and like, okay, I'm just going to be at your job. What time are you there? Can I come talk to you? I want to know everything about what you do, what you like, what you don't like, what do you do outside of work, your behaviors. Like, I'm just trying to get as much content as possible. And so Terrell's like, sure, come on by. So I go by, visit him. It was kind of when he was closing up bar. And I was just so invested. You know, I had my little voice memo on, being a total obnoxious person, just kind of like, okay, so who's your favorite bar regular? Like, why? And I was just going in. And then I just remember at the end of our conversation, we left, and he was just like, yeah, so I just quit. And I was like, what? that he's like, yeah, the management at the time, they just were acting a little weird. And, he felt a little disrespected, and this wasn't the first time at this particular place. And he was just like, yeah, I don't deserve that shit. I own Rellies Hospitality, and I only work here like 1 day a week anyway, so I should just quit. And I was just like, I second that. And we had some cocktails, and we just kept talking through it. And that was like a year ago.
That was a year ago. That was a crazy day. I've been there. Been almost 2 years. I think it was 2 years. It was right before the playoffs too.
You said it was 2 years ago?
No, actually, no. I have been working there for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, that was last year now.
Okay.
Oh no, I remember my 1 year anniversary of 100% entrepreneur. Everybody remembers that.
Right. How does it feel like in that moment when you quit? Like, what were you? I don't want to say quit. I'm gonna say resign. You made a transition.
Nah, well, at that time we was rolling, and I was just working there. I don't know why I was working there. I think I was working there. The connections were good, and I had a space. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But it started the business was just running, and we had started the competition. That's what it was. The company was doing good. We started the competition, but I can't do both. So I had to supplement the income somehow, right? So I had pulled away from bartending all the way, but not really, which I tell all the entrepreneurs, if you still have that lifeline, you ain't an entrepreneur like that. You got to go all the way in. I still had a lifeline. So... But
it's
at that
scary
time,
out here.
It's scary.
It's scary every day.
Let's see. I was working 1 day a week, but then it got to a point where I was holding meetings with like state managers and what is it called? Market managers and stuff like that. While I'm bartending at the bar, you know what I mean? And that's like, I was like, okay, come on. I felt as though I lost a deal or two off of that, and then we were doing so much outside of it and staffing people out and doing these trainings and all this stuff. And then that guy came up and we was sitting there having a drinks and he talking all this trash, he was a manager. Nothing wrong with managers, not trying to say it like that, but I really wasn't like at that time. Well, and at this time, I really don't talk to like the assistant managers and stuff when you're doing when we're doing business, unless you're a close friend of mine. And if you're new, then I'm gonna run it through you just so that you get the credit for it instead of your boss getting the credit for it. And hopefully that helps people out. I feel as though it helps them out. I don't know, but I feel as though it helps them out in the industry. But this little guy, man, it was just the way he was talking that day, and it was just like, why am I dealing with this little, like, 21-year-old? And I respected him. Every time he asked me to do something, I was the only one that did it. Go sweep the cooler. What? All right, I'll go sweep the cooler. I'm not the manager.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, it doesn't matter what you're asked to do. If it's within reason, then you got to do it because you're at work. So I go do it, right? I own this whole company. I'm in here sweeping this cooler, but...
Sometimes you need stuff like that, too, to just, like, enforce a humbling factor, too. It's just like, I just want you to know, like, and that's just who you are, It's like...
I roll up the sleeves.
Yep, when you got to.
When I have to.
We're in the service industry. We're here to serve.
So this boy was talking. He was young, too. So this boy was talking. And I went to close up. I took the trash out. And I'm like, damn, I'm still taking this trash out? I'm tripping. And I came back and I just looked at him and I said, hey, man, it was great working with you. He said, oh, thanks. He didn't even know what was going on. And then they didn't know that I quit, first of all, okay? Because I know the industry. So I knew that I quit. You knew that I quit. But 2 days later, the checks dropped. So I didn't want them to try to put that in the mail. So I waited until I went and picked up my check. I had the text message ready. And as soon as I got my check, then I sent the message. Yeah. If you don't quit... try to quit after you get your check. Or they're going to send it through the mail, wait a couple days. I don't know why they do it. Just make sure you get your money.
There's actually some legality with that, too. Like, they can't put it off like that, technically.
Yeah, but it can get lost in the mail.
Lost in the mail, quote unquote. And that's funny because a lot of times when I have guests on the podcast, I ask them about retirement. And I'm always just like, so, you know, are you retiring soon? Or to me, it looks like you've retired. And they always are like, they can't call it retirement. They're like, I didn't retire. I'm either on a hiatus, or I'm taking a break, or I transitioned into owning a small business. So a lot of the people that I'm talking to, that's what they're saying, you know? So do you consider yourself a retired bartender? What do you,
Nah.
Okay. So where do you still, I
bartend my own events. What you talking about?
What event have you bartended last
Well,
time?
here's the thing. At first, I was just sending people out all the time. But then sometimes, it's like, why not go? Like, if it's somebody's house, or somebody new or something like that, and it's a 2 or 3 hour gig, I'm like, I'm going to set it up anyway. I might as well go work the 2 or 3 hours.
Sure.
They don't know that I'm the owner. You know, they're happy. You know, I'll let them know afterwards, or they'll send me to somebody else, and they're like, oh, you didn't show up. Like, oh, no, I was the owner. I usually send people, I just wanted to come in today. Yeah, I still bartend my own stuff, and if somebody call me with an opportunity that's dope, I'm going to go bartend that too.
Okay.
I ain't crazy now, guys. I just don't work for other people like that.
Yeah. I do the same thing. Okay, cool. So let's get into Rellies Hospitality.
All
right. So what is it? If you had to, I mean, I know I gave you a little intro, but like, was that thorough, you know, in what everything you offer and what everything you do? Let's stick with just the staffing part. We'll get into the cocktail competition, but let's talk about the
staffing part. So Rellies Hospitality. Rellies Hospitality is first and foremost a bar staffing company. Period. Then we staff servers as well, and we staff events. We went in as an event staffing company. So with that, Rellies Hospitality is a bar staffing company for events and everything else. We staff servers too, and then we also can curate events for you. We also we do a lot of things.
Okay.
We consult restaurants. We don't consult. We coach restaurants. The consulting part, I've noticed a lot of restaurants don't really like the consultant. They bring him on, and all I hear is horror stories. You know, they either don't pay or they pay, and then they're not happy with what they got. So I say, I'm going to give you all the information here. And if you don't, I'm going to tell you how to use it. And if you don't read the book and you don't, facilitate the things. So
you're a published author. You wrote a book to help the restaurants?
No.
Oh, okay. Should you? Is that a thing you should do?
Well,
I think
possibly.
I think they
because we have our own little manual and we tailor it to each person.
I
That's
think
a good
need
one.
Help.
They need help. But so we coach them up and we send the stuff. So then it's on them. And it's a lot cheaper for the restaurant, right? But then it's on them to go forward with it and finish up and do it by the book to be successful. If they're not successful, you can't call me because you got all your tools that you need to make that great. So we do that. We also do mobile bartending. We're not a mobile bartending service. So I want to put that out there. We're an event staffing company.
Okay.
So I took a lot of time building it as an event staffing company. We didn't do a lot of the mobile bartending because we want to do events.
What's the difference?
Events are big. Mobile bartending is usually for houses and small events around 50 to 100 people. I wanted to focus the company in the beginning on large events.
And why
corporate
specifically
events.
large?
Because there wasn't nobody in the realm.
Okay.
Everybody else was like does the stadiums and stuff like that, and there was nobody in the middle. So they weren't going to let anybody be in the middle. And I tried hard to get in the middle, and then it finally ended up working out. I'll get to that later. But so we are an event staffing company, and we also do mobile bartending.
Gotcha.
Mobile bartending is not our specialty.
Got you. Because in my head, I'm like, mobile bartending, why can't it be? But I guess if it's in the word, it's kind of, people take that as literally the smaller scale.
Well, not even smaller scale, but there's more into it. So if I wanted to compete in the mobile bartending realm, I could. I'd be a good competitor.
You've exceeded, Terrill.
But there's people out there that, when I see mobile bartending, I see all the extra stuff. Like, you got Spirit and Soul, y'all do all this extra stuff because you don't have to do it on such a large scale with a little bit of time. You know what I mean? so you can go to the store and build your bar up. You know what I mean? We could do that. It just takes so much time, and we're not trying to be over here. We're here. Okay? If they want to go over there and we can't facilitate it, that's okay. That's all right. You know, we're not tripping on that.
The great thing about Terrill, though, I'll say, as you're saying this, I'm already thinking, if given an opportunity, if Spirit and Soul was ever given an opportunity where, this has already happened, where I don't have the scale to do a $500 person.
I didn't mean to laugh like $500, but that's a lot of money.
500 person event. A person like me who owns a small mobile bartending company, I just say, Terrill, look, I got this thing. Can you help me? He's like, I got you. How many people do you need?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the contract. Boom, done. So it's like he's very community based. That's what I mean by like he's for the people because he wants to see everyone win. You know. Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to add that tip in because it's like I think that's very true to who you are. Like if I was ever, he's worked for me before.
Yeah. See why you asking that? Like if the event was there, I worked it as a bartender at the event. Why you playing?
Yep.
See.
You did.
See now y'all know I ain't playing.
Yeah, he'll work.
But I know for sure that it's 1,000 events in Atlanta, and if you're trying to take all of them, you're gonna fumble it. You're gonna fumble the bag, or why be greedy? You don't grow with greed, right? Yeah, we just try to knock everything we do out the park. But anyway, hold on. Let me go back to that. So we do that. We do the mobile bartending. We do the coaching. We open up the bars and restaurants. We do staff trainings. And yeah, we just leave it at that. We do a lot.
Okay.
Then we have Rellies Hospitality. Then we have Rellies Moya. Then we have, this is Mixologist of the Year Awards. Then we have the Rellies Foundation, and then the Hospitality Awards ceremony.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get into the Moya in the Hospitality Awards ceremony, and in you said there's a nonprofit too.
Rellies Foundation.
What is that focused on?
So far right now, it is, the whole point of it was to, well, before we were taking profits, and we have a scholarship for the HBCUs for a textbook scholarship for students. You know, it's only one, but it's up to $750 per semester.
Oh, that's nice.
If you go into a local HBCU.
I could have definitely used that in college.
Yeah, but you know, you guys gotta check out the website. You know, nobody checks out the website. So
where do you market? Like, where can people find? I mean, I know your website.
On our website.
Speaking of the website.
On our website.
Speaking of the website.
She know about the website, but she don't even go to the website. She didn't even know about the scholarship.
No.
That's been up for 2 years.
No, that's not what I was getting at. Speaking of the website, yours truly actually created the original website for Rellies Hospitality back in the day. I don't even know when that was. It's like 4
or 5 years ago.
Really? Yeah. That's crazy. Were you having a cocktail competition that day? Because I remember sitting outside on a patio, and I was like, let me just, this is easy. I can just pull this together real quick.
Nah, I don't know what we were doing, but we had a contest in that same space, though.
Oh, okay.
But we were growing the company, and, you know, so look, if y'all growing companies, man, don't just jump straight into LLC. Like, I've had the company for like 7, 8, 9 years. I can't remember exactly where it is right now.
Listen up, small business owners.
But sometimes you just gotta stay open. We didn't make no money for like 5 years. No, let me see, 8. So I say we didn't make no money for 4 or 5 years. 3 years ago, we made our first $700 in revenue since we started to that year.
You mean like in profit, like
no, in revenue, starting from the very beginning.
What's going on?
First, people ain't want to pay. So you got to remember, this is something that ain't nobody really do it at first.
When did Rellies Hospitality, when was it founded? Like, when did it start?
Man, like 8, 9 years ago. Okay. And it was a little group, me. I was working, and it was slow as heck. And I was working at the Glen Hotel downtown. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start a group me of just my homies and like 10 dope bartenders. And it'll be bartenders appropriation. It's like an underground railroad for bartenders, right? So
I love
you put everybody in
yes.
There.
Sorry.
put everybody in there, and then it's like, yo, if you know, this is no managers, no servers, just bartenders.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm at work and it's boring, like, yo, boom, I'm here, I'm working. All right, maybe 5, maybe 10 people pull up, but you know you're going to make some money because it's all your bartender friends, right? But it was underground, so nobody knew about it unless you were in it. Then it was like...
Does that still exist?
Nah.
Why? It needs to.
I'm about to
Can
tell
I
you.
be?
I'm
I
about
want
to
to be
tell
a
you
part
why.
of the group
I'm about to
chat.
tell you
Come in.
Because it grew from that, right? So it grew from that to, all right, go ahead and you can add one of your dope bartenders, but they got to be dope. Can't just be a regular bartender. No regular bartenders. We the best, so if we're going to be the best, we're going to have the best people in it. So, boom. Then it started growing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to like 65, 75 people for like a year, stay right there. Then I got called to do...
And it was literally just like, hey, I'm working at so-and-so, it's slow, pull up.
Or you'll be like, hey, I'm working here on Monday, pull up. All right, cool. And like 10, 15 people might pull up. So everybody making money.
Right.
It's basically sharing money in a sense, now that I think about it. But,
yeah.
you know, you don't have a bad down day.
Mm-hmm.
Then, New Year's Eve, I got called to work. I was working at Opera, and I got called to work at like 2 other spots, and I couldn't. I was like, well, I got some people. So I put a text out in there, and then the people went to work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh. I was like, dang, I probably should have charged. Then that day, I only made $100 on New Year's Eve at Opera.
And what they
made like 3, 4, 5, 6. And I ain't made nothing, and I was sorry because I had to work where I was working at.
Paying it forward, though. I'm sure
good,
they
yeah.
would. Okay.
So then, went a whole nother year, nothing, telling people what we got, you know. Got hired a couple times, but then people didn't want to pay. Then I was charged like, it was like $25 or something for a bartender. I didn't know what the going rate was. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
There was nobody to show me anything.
Just like a person, like $25 per person. They just have to pay you $25.
Just give me $25. I'm gonna send Courtney over there.
What year was
Courtney
this?
This is like 5 years ago now.
$25
4 or 5 years
is not
ago.
a lot of money.
It wasn't. I didn't even know it was a market for that. I was just like, well, give me $25. I'll send a dope bartender.
Damn.
Okay. So, fast forward. Then I started getting calls and people started booking.
Mm-hmm.
But then, people wasn't paying. And I was like, what could I do?
They want the service, but they didn't want
but then they didn't want to pay me. So I was like, dang, what do I do? I can't take them to court. We's too little. It's like, all right.
So you weren't doing it for free?
Yeah.
But tips?
So what? No. I was sending the people out. They was making money. I wasn't making no money.
Oh.
Rellies wasn't making no money. So, you know what I have?
What?
A list of people I don't mess with. I was like, you know what? We're going to be big. And they going to want it. And we're going to say no every time.
I love that.
Still got that list.
Ooh. That's interesting.
Just know, I still got that list.
That's
So I
juicy.
guess now, if you see this and you wonder why we ain't worked with you. Doesn't matter, though. So we're here now. We're here now. I mean, it is what it is.
Why did you laugh like that? You went from laughing to going completely serious.
Because, you know, now they know.
Oh, hey. That's interesting. I never knew that.
So then, grew from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we added, a friend of mine knew a person that was working for a hotel. And when they staff out, they told me their prices. And I was like, what? Like,
What was it?
I think there's like $3,500 for a bartender if you want to bring them in. And they like just like out of like a bar school. Or they charge them like $500 to $1,000 per person. And it's like, your people are all like established bartenders that trained and all that stuff. I was like, yeah. My prices still ain't even nowhere near that. First of all, we big and we ain't even nowhere near them numbers.
That's a little extreme, I will say. That's
you know, that's at least that's what they told me.
Damn.
I could have been lied to.
No, okay. Keep going.
Then I just stopped sending people out unless I got paid up front. And the people were going in there and they were working.
Mm-hmm.
So then I went like another year after that trying to staff people out, but I wouldn't staff them out unless the company was going to pay their minimums. Just think about how much money I lost trying to establish that the company has to pay the minimum for the bartender to be there.
Right. So like I know minimum.
Like minimum would be, I send a bartender there.
Like
we could cut our rate and we said, yeah, you got to make, the bartender has to make at least $150 or $200 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then with that took a long time and I lost I didn't lose money out of my pocket,
Mm-hmm.
like fresh out of my pocket, but I didn't get a lot of the contracts because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was starting to get those contracts and people were kind of iffy about it,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go ham because I was like, you know how much money I missed? I could have just been sending y'all out for $10. Just think about that.
Wow. It's so funny that you're talking about this because it's like I didn't know the details about this. And so even when I started what I was doing, I was inspired by you, but I didn't know all of this shit.
Man,
I didn't know
think
any of
this
this.
easy?
I went, but let me tell you what helped me though. And not to plug, it's a plug because it's a plug. I went to Nashville to a mobile bartending conference where they literally give you all the resources you need to operate. And so that everybody's on the same playing field and we're like all, okay guys, this is what people are charging. Like, so don't be doing this. It's undercutting yourself or don't overshoot here. This is a waste of time. And I spent like a weekend out there and I was just like taking all of the notes. And I came back like, Terrill, you need to go to this conference. You either need to be a speaker at this conference or some shit because I just learned everything. But I highly suggest it. So I'll, if you're interested, just let me know. But whatever. But that's crazy that's insane.
That ain't even half of it.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm going to refill my cocktail. By the way, I want to go ahead and plug what this is. This is a Spirit and So favorite. It's called the Juice. I'm going to use your cup because I drank mine because it was so good. But this is called the Juice. It is tequila. It's hibiscus tea. It's hibiscus syrup. It's lime juice. It's orange liqueur. And it has a hibiscus salt rim. It's really delicious. It's juicy. It's tequila based. It goes well with Mexican food, but it also goes well at weddings, family reunions,
goes with everything.
Pop-ups, all that crap. It's great, and it's a popular cocktail, so hope you can enjoy. I'm going to give you the recipe later, but I'm going to refill me, and we'll get back after this short break.
There comes a time in every bartender's life, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the creativity, the mindset, the entertainment, the fun, the fire in their hearts to do better, build more, create more. The shake, the pinnacle of every bartender's career, defines who they are. The crowds will gather, people will watch. This is Rellies Moya 2022.
Welcome back. I got my juice, so we're back in this conversation.
Yes.
We were about to transition. You were talking about some relationships with vendors or clients, I guess, and
growing.
Yes.
So after that portion, everywhere you're at has to be a reason, right? So I started working. I was working at places. It's not about the money, but about the connection there, right? Yeah. And then a friend of mine hit me up and asked me if I wanted to work at the Gathering Spot. And I was like, yeah, I work at the Gathering Spot. I didn't know what it was. It was just hard to get in. And I was like, yeah, whatever. That's my homie. Let's go. So I went in there. It was dope. It was two brothers owned it. And, they're entrepreneur-minded. And they were all about community. So started working there. Then I noticed they were doing a whole lot of events. And I kept trying to tell them, like, yo, we got staff, the best staff in the city, But when you say that to somebody, like, yeah, sure. So after about a year and a half, they really was like, one day was like, you know what? I guess somebody must have fell through. I don't know. They're like, all right, we need some people for this event. I think you might have worked that event. I don't know.
That's when he hired Courtney to work for them.
But it was one of those events, and they needed maybe like 10 people. I was like, yeah, I got you. When? It's like 2 days later. I was like, oh, okay, under the gun.
And that's something they do too. That's something they do too. That's my the biggest pet peeve with that. I'm like, why y'all wait the week of to tell me you need some? Can we get 2 weeks? Why we gotta do the week of?
We'll get to that part. Why? I think. But after that, we knocked that out the park, and then they started hiring us to help them with their staffing for the larger events.
Mm-hmm.
They already had a regular staff,
Mm-hmm.
and a dope staff, but we just was like the fillers in the mix.
Yeah.
And then after that, we were doing a great job with great people, and then they started, sending us out, or if clients were off premise or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was like our big first referral, and that was like our first big logo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then
the
rest
Gathering
is
Spot
history.
just had an interview on the Breakfast Club. Did
Oh,
you
they
see
did?
that? Mm-hmm.
Nah, hey, look, I give a lot of props out to them. Like, they sat down. If I had a question, I could ask them. They'd either have an answer for me, or they'd have me work an event where I can get the answer.
Mm-hmm.
They wasn't like shying away from getting you the knowledge if you want the knowledge. Now, if
Yeah.
you just go in there just trying to do something, nah, they ain't messing
Use
with
them?
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's one thing that I heard from some football players, like, use me, don't use me. So I was using them in that sense, and in the way that they were helping me out,
Mm-hmm.
not in a negative sense. And then I learned a lot from them. And then we just started growing, got to get more contracts, and now we got a staff of over 400 bartenders and servers. Part of Georgia Minority Development Supply Council, Minority Business Enterprise. We got a database of 3,500 nationwide. Like, people probably don't even know that. Like, yeah.
Let's get into your staffing and how you get all these people. You mentioned a relationship that you have with a bartending school.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you get some of your staffing, or tell me how
Well,
that works?
So everybody thinks staffing is easy. It's not. I've been building this staff for the 7-8 years we've been open.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the little text thread? Those are my first people. It started from that little text thread.
Oh yeah, the group
group
me.
me.
Okay, yeah.
And the group me grew into Rellies Hospitality.
Mm-hmm.
And you call me, and then I could get the bartenders out there. Like, anybody could call a bartender and get a bartender, right?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take. Or you could call me, and I can guarantee that I'm going to have somebody to you.
And somebody good.
And somebody really good, because you can't be with us if you're not good. One of the requirements is that you have to currently be working somewhere. If you haven't worked somewhere in 2 or 3 months, then you can't be on our squad.
Mm.
One, because you have to stay up with the trainings, what's up to date, and
Right.
your mechanics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, now, with that, we work with people. A lot of people try to make us their competitor. Trust me, we're not your competitor. Y'all ain't even in the league.
No, go off.
But,
Go off.
No. No, but I don't see any competitors, really. I mean, if I was competing with anybody, I say I compete with like a Delaware North, and that's like a big jump. Or Levy would be a competitor to me if they were. We ain't even in the same realm. They way bigger.
I think that's the thing too. It's like, okay, bigger in size too, but I just feel like we're all offering something unique.
Yeah, I have a niche market.
And then what would you say, you're going to continue, but as you continue, since we're on the topic, what do you feel like is the pain point that you're solving for niche market? I think you might have mentioned it earlier when you were like, there's nobody in this realm that did events back then, but like, what is that now? Like your pain point that you're solving with what you do with Rellies Hospitality and what you offer?
Easy mind, man. You give us one call and you don't have to worry about nothing. If you call us, in 25 minutes, we can have your whole everything done with the best people in the industry.
In 25 minutes.
25 minutes. You got a party for 1,000, 2,000 people.
They can get a proposal. They got a proposal.
Oh, proposal. Oh, we get a proposal in like 5 minutes. First of all,
can you teach me a way? Because that's I need 24
guys.
Hours. I can't.
24 hours.
I need more time.
24 hours. I just stepped in with the quote, send it out to them, and I might even hit them with a look. You know what? You gonna pay today? I'm gonna slash it to this. And then they pay, and then you give them the invoice the next day. It's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta move fast.
Yeah.
We move real fast though.
But you got
I had to. Well, yes, but then I also had to move fast because look at all the adversity I'm up against. We're a black-owned company.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing they're going to think is something going to be messed up.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And it's not. We are a premium company, and we got to live on that.
Mm-hmm.
And you worked with us.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot on the line. You know what I mean? Every day, the company on the line with the people we sent out. Because we
I
don't
get
mess with no little
positive
clients.
reviews all the time when I work with Rellies Hospitality.
You know what I'm saying?
They be
That's
sending
why
him reviews all the time.
Sometimes,
about
you know, sometimes for those events we call certain people.
Yeah.
Just period.
Yeah.
But our database is that big. If you gotta do a big event, then we can call. Now, here's the other thing. How do I get people that fast out? Because a lot of people, and you saying you don't like and I don't like either, the last minute calls.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing.
What?
I live on the last minute. And
So I gotta change my whole lifestyle?
Yeah.
I just gotta barely be asleep every day with one eye open and one eye closed.
When this phone ring, I don't care what time of day it is. This one right here. When this thing ring, you get an answer.
No wonder you wake up every day nervous. I would be fucking that's too much. I can't handle that.
Look. I don't wake up nervous. I just be nervous before the event.
Yeah.
Now, you got to think. If you give us a call, first of all, by the time you call us, your first people done dropped out.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's somebody else's. But you got to think. This how we grew. This how we lived. Mm-hmm. Is somebody dropped the ball for them to call us? Because how you gonna find us?
Yep.
So now
I love those
you
opportunities.
bouncing around, and then you call us, and it's like, what? You do what? Hold on. Hey, look, we're going to do all this. I'm going to send you the website. I send that just so they get a peace of mind. They can see what we work with. And then like 5 to 15 minutes, we send them back with a whole quote. And now we do the quote with the invoice on there. If you want to pay it, go ahead and pay it now. And then
that's actually very smart.
Yeah, and we can always adjust.
That because the extra work is
extra work. But also, we got into a point where we could take on an event of up to 500 people in like 5 hours. So if you call me right now and you had an event for 500, I could facilitate that right now.
That's awesome.
It's an emergency fee. Oh, it's an emergency fee.
How much is your emergency fee?
You book us, you'll see.
Okay.
It's all printed out on the paperwork.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to say. If you're a small business, have your numbers ready.
Yeah.
Have your numbers ready. I thought I was doing it, and I sent it up to my dad, and he ripped this. He worked with purchasing for General Motors for North America.
Okay.
All right. So I got those type of people in my family and in my corner. And he took my paperwork that I had for the company and pricing, and ripped it, like just every line, just killed me on every line. Well, why are you charging this? Who charges that? Why would you be charging this? Like, I'm like, dang, do you like this company?
You hate me.
I didn't say that. I was thinking it, but what I do, took it, boom, reworked it, sent it back. Oh, that looks good. 2 days later, somebody asked for an invoice, and the invoice was sent back in like 5 minutes, and we got that deal.
I love when that happens.
Now we just work.
When there's no questions. It's like, this looks great. Can you send me the invoice? That has happened. I will say that has happened out of the, let's say, 20 events I've had since in the past 6 months when I've started. That's about that time I've been operating. I would say maybe 6 times where it's like, no questions here. Well, and I'm like, damn, how do I find more of you? Well,
you also got to know, at the end of the day, they all got the money. They just don't want to spend it.
Exactly.
The bar is the last thing they don't account. They don't account for the bar. And that's the last thing that they want to put on. But it's so much more. You got to pay to play.
We're the party. We're the party is at.
Yeah, but look at all the parties.
We provide the vibes. We are the enthusiasts. We set the tone. We're the people that initiate the whole feeling and emotion in the room. Like, what do you mean? Why do we come last? That bothers me. That's not fair.
Well, we can't think of it like that.
Okay.
Think of it as a business. See, you're a company now. You're not a bartender.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm a soul tender.
You're a soul tender. I was a soul tender too.
You were. You are.
So the thing is, bottom line, like, they're not thinking about cocktails at the end.
Yeah.
They want to get the event done, and everything else costs so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Events cost money. A lot. And then you get to the bar, and then you get to the food. Food more expensive than a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And they be doing the food second to last. And then they got, we got $500. How many people you got? 500 people? So you want me to do this for $1 a person? That's what you trying to tell me. Oh, I got 1,000 people. All right, cool. So what? 1,000 people. Look at this. If it's 1,000 people at $10 a person, that's 10,000.
That's crazy.
Right? So you get my
It's
invoice
rude.
for
It's rude. How dare you.
$35,000, and they look at you like you crazy, like you ain't spent thousands of dollars to have all your licenses and all that stuff together, and insurances and business, all this other stuff, and inventory and all that stuff. Then the staff, then the logistics part. Yeah, you want that for $15 a person? You have $15,000 before I even add a bartender or services. So I would say to small businesses, just have your paperwork right for your clients. Then also have your paperwork right.
I think I'm going to name this episode The Juice.
Have your paperwork right.
Because he's just giving you the juice. Like, this is...
I give you enough.
This is the juice. This is literally... This is what you need. If you're in this industry, he's a person to know. So even if this is your introduction to Terrill or Rellies Hospitality, I just feel like you just need to know him. So this episode, I think, is going to be called Juice.
It could be called The Juice.
And some other things. Some other things, though, too. But the juice it has to be in the title. I've declared that right now.
Look, at the end of the day, man, I just want to see everybody win. All my peoples win. Anybody connected to me that does good by me, I try to do good by them, and I want everybody to win. Now, also, with that being said, it is business. If you get upset that something happened in business, if you wasn't on doing your stuff right, because we're going to do our stuff right. Maybe sometimes we do our stuff wrong, but we're human, and y'all and everybody else is human. But at the end of the day, it's business. That should not get in the way of friendships.
Right.
Business. What's it? Business and anyway, shouldn't be getting in any way with your friendships and relationships.
Right.
You know, there's people that I can't do business with that I'm friends with. There's people that I could do business with that I'm not friends with.
It is what it is. I wanted to know what a week in your life looked like, and I honestly want to know how many events you do in a month typically. Is there like an average?
No, it's no average. So,
excuse me, there's no limits to what this man can do. So you're right, averages don't exist. Continue.
No, there is no average because there's seasons. Slowest seasons for us is January, February, March. Then we start picking up April, May, June is like maybe 10 events a month. Then sprinkled in some pop-ups, you know. And then around this time is when it picks up, and we start doing like 5 or 6 a week. 4 or 5 a week.
Whoa.
Sometimes one time we had 6 events one day, and it was big events.
Oh, I remember that.
I think you helped on one of them,
didn't
you?
You?
Where was you at on that one?
That was a party. It was in Buckhead. It was like a little venue. You knew the girl. Like, she must have been a regular or somebody. Like, she was... Yeah, it was a party. Because I remember I could not break that bar down. It was huge. And I was like, I'm sorry, you're going to have to wait. And you were in the big truck. You were in your truck.
U-Haul or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot for some big clients. Oh, man, every client
was
big.
It was the CultureCon weekend. It was that weekend. Because it was
weekend.
CultureCon. It was Mary J. Blige. It was some other stuff, too. Yeah, that's what it was.
That week was... that day.
Was that the busiest day ever?
That was our busiest day ever.
Okay.
And then the clients were all big. It's like a lot of firsts in one day, like every day.
So the impression really matters.
Yeah, but we sent out some killers, you know, and everybody did their job, and I appreciate that because they're not only doing their jobs for them, they respect me as a human
and your brand,
and my brand too, and they're helping me grow it. So everybody who works with us helps us grow this. So thank y'all. I pretty much said it before anyway.
The people.
But yeah, that was a very busy day. That was some big clients.
So your weeks are pretty busy.
Now they are.
What do they consist of? Like what is?
Well, the biggest thing right now is this doggone all this paperwork and the meetings. Oh my gosh, so many meetings.
So like the budgeting, like financial type paperwork type stuff, or like expense tracking.
Yeah, admin stuff and just the clients. So the events is the easy part for us, you know.
Showing up, production.
Showing up, doing that, man, we got that, like, you know, it's nothing. Just find the bodies, Whoever's available, you're available, you're available, you're available. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're going here, you're going there. You three, we're going to load this. We're going to go to this event. You're going to go to that event, you know, because we also still staff out restaurants and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, in any day, we could be, you know what? That day we were staffing out the restaurants too. So it was like 7, 8 events, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like so hands off because you just do that deal. They go
What's some
pull
of
up.
the restaurants that you staff for?
A lot.
What are some of the ones that come to mind first?
I don't really have any that come to mind right now.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Clearly you don't want to talk about that. So
There's nothing wrong with
I
the
get it.
places, but
I
you
get
know, what if 5 years from now, you know, what happened, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But we staff some really nice establishments. Some establishments.
We did say the
let
gathering
us know
spot.
the gathering spot. Yes. We have staffed some Tribeca. We staffed Tribeca for a while. I love them over there, and with that too. So we're always learning. So with them, we were sending some dope people, but then also we were finding some pressure points for us as a company.
Okay.
You always got to learn, man. You can't be high and mighty. You know, you got to listen. You got to get your feedback. You got to take that feedback. Sometimes you don't want to hear it, but you got to hear it.
Do you send out feedback questionnaires to your people? You just go in and you're like, hey, like let's talk about.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Okay.
But if they reach out, it's a problem,
Mm-hmm.
and I address it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Gotcha.
So shout out to the Tribeca team over there, and we actually after we was working them for a while, and then I guess we kind of still work with them too, but we've changed a lot of things with our staffing, sending people out.
Mm-hmm.
If we send people out, how we send people out, and stuff like that.
Got it.
You always got to be learning.
Who is your ideal client? Like, who is your target audience? Like, if you could.
Everybody, but we love everyone. But I guess we would love
accommodations for everyone, but
yeah. But our target client, see, we're everywhere. Like, I guess our target client is anybody who has an event.
Okay.
Could be a dinner for two or a party of 40, 50,000.
What would you charge for dinner too? Because when people are like, "Can I just have you come and make?" I'm like, I'm a little creeped out.
$750.
I know. They're like, can I just buy one of your drinks? I'm like, I don't really sell them like that.
You can have me come in for $750.
Mm.
You can have Terrill Patterson for $750 for 3 hours.
Everything included.
I suggest if you're a bartender, if you're good, that you have your rate. Has anybody hired me for $750? No. No. But that's my price. Because we got so much stuff going on. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to give you the best service. I've been in the industry for 20 years.
Yeah.
20
years.
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah. And
crazy.
yeah, so I'm going to say that's my price. I'm pretty sure you have a price.
It's around 6.
Yeah, so it could be 5. And I'm going to say
like,
7. I could say 4. I don't know.
You could say 3.
I could say, you know what, I'll do it for $200. I'll pull up. You know, you never know. But if someone asks me first out my mouth, hey, we just want you just want me, I could bring in some people. We just want you. Okay, well, it's $750.
Because it's not just physically you. I mean, you're still a business, so there's things that go into that. So it's like
I got to take away from the business.
Exactly.
I got to come work for your hour, a couple hours.
Exactly.
I had to curate all this stuff. It's not like.
And that's the word curate. When you're dealing with smaller gatherings, it's definitely more curated, than it, larger scale. It's not, it is what it is, straightforward.
Mobile bartending, you curate more things.
Yeah.
We can curate some things, but we just want everything to be uniform and nice.
Yes.
You call us, you don't have to worry about anything.
I have a question.
Yes.
So your slogan is, we only know premium.
Doggone right.
We only know premium. So, and I want to know what that means. And don't give me the political response. I literally want to know the story behind the slogan. I feel like we've covered a little bit of it, but I really want to know, like, the passion. Give me, like, really what that means and why it's so important.
I only drink premium, too.
Okay, so that's part of it. You only drink premium.
Nah, so... Nah. Shout out to the Remy team out there. So what I'll say is how it started. We only know premium. I did a nice event, and I was like, man, hashtag we only know premium. Yeah. Then
What made you say that at that event?
Next time, hashtag again, we only know premium.
But why were you saying that?
Because in that event, we only knew premium, and then it was like, well, we only got the best people.
You were impressed by what you did? Was that part of it?
No, it was a very nice event, I believe.
Oh, okay. It was the client
people,
and being booked and pulling it off, pulling it together and seeing it. You're like, this is some premium ass shit. It was like that.
The people come in, we all look good. Everybody's groomed. Most of the time it's black button down. Sometimes it's black, polos. Mm-hmm. We look good, smell good, we talk good, we work good, mm-hmm. We clean, we leave. All right, that's a premium service to me. All right, everybody I know that's on this team, I know them, mm-hmm. and I know they're gonna work hard, and then I know they all have years of experience. All right, that's premium. Boom, we only know premium.
Okay.
All right, cool. We only know premium. Kept putting that in there. Then it was just a hashtag. Then I put it on the bottom of the
we only know premium.
Yeah, I put it on the bottom of the logo, and we live by that. Sometimes it's like, dang, I can't use that. Why? Because we only know premium. We could use plastic cups. That's about as I know people like that's not premium. Well, when you get to looking at the premium cost of glasses, I'll take some plastic cups.
Exactly. They're quick to take those plastic cups. Just make them the nice ones, but mm-hmm. It is what it is.
But that's how it started, and then now it's part of our whole slogan. Mm-hmm. Rellies Hospitality, we only know premium. I tried to build the company and work the events to show that we are premium mm-hmm. and those type of clients. Mm-hmm. And we have other clients that we just, we work anyway. I mean, we still know premium, but, there's some things that we go and do.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Most of our stuff is only know premium. We try to rock with premium brands, premium everything.
I love that.
Now can't nobody take it.
We only know premium. What about some of the clients? Well, let's talk about the clients. Let's go back to that. We were talking about clients who need more than what we offer. At least I was. I was talking about how frustrated I get. Well, not frustrated, but I find it happens often when mm-hmm. I get clients and they need me to refer them to a DJ and a chef. And they are clearly asking me questions that I can tell they don't know what they're doing. And that's okay, because mm-hmm. the average person doesn't know how to pull off an event. And that's my background. So I give them that information for free, and I throw in a fee. And we'll say
nice
this.
Of you.
Stop. Look, no, I do. I have a coordination and production fee, and under that I put consulting fee. And sometimes people are like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "You're talking to me on the phone, and you're emailing me. That's my time." That's what that is. But I say free because I just feel like I could probably be charging more. Depending on the client and what they're asking, because I'm literally showing them how to send invitations and where to go, or it goes down, and I don't know. I wonder what your thoughts were on that, and being that some of your clients need more than what you're actually supposed to be offering.
So for you, I would say do whatever your client needs. You growing.
Yeah.
Look, we did all that. We did everything under the sun. Y'all, everybody out here thinking this was an easy ride. We just did this. We just popped up one day. No. We went through everything. We did the free events, the cheap events, the exposure events. And when I talk about we did them, we ran through them, we lived them, took the picture, took the video, mm-hmm. edited it. You know what I mean? We did all that put the whole poster up, billboard about it. That's how deep we went into it. So everybody talking about
had billboards?
No, I'm just talking about how deep we went into.
I really did want a billboard.
Well, we did have
That's
a billboard.
Goal of mine.
We did have a billboard. It was digital.
Did?
But hold on, I'm just saying I was talking about how deep we went into.
Why you mumble that part?
No, we did. We did. But I'm just saying what I was using, all those words were saying how deep we were into the events where we weren't getting paid for none of them, and we were just doing it for the exposure, and we was doing it for the opportunity. and we was doing this and doing all that and all that. We did all that. A lot of people talking about coming into the industry like, we ain't gonna do this, we ain't gonna do that. All right, whatever. We here now because we did all that. You feel me? And now I can charge accordingly. If you call me, we not cheap. But if you call me, you know for sure we got the experience in it and we gonna kill it. You don't have to worry about anything. Now brands can call us to do their events.
Yeah.
Because when you're working with a brand, they have expectations that have to be met, and they can't just send anybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they'll look back at my track record. Yeah, well, he's done all these events. And all these large events, we have a lot of large events, and we have a whole bunch of little ones that we don't even put out there, but our experience is there. Just imagine you charge somebody $20,000.
Listen.
Right?
We're going to take a quick break.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to take a quick break, but he's on to something, and I want to go dive a little deeper. So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
So, like, think about it. Literally, charging somebody $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going to come to a company? They may. Think they're going to come to a company that just opened up and say, we do bartending. Yeah, we're going to do your event, $20,000. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. You don't think they're going to look on your website, look you up, look your Duns and Bradstreet, all that type of stuff. They're going to look at all that before they drop that cash. They ain't going to ask a lot of questions. They're going to look at it, then they're going to send it. Somebody going to approve it, then they're going to send it up, and then they're going to pay that invoice. But it ain't for just somebody who ain't did it before. So I believe somebody trying to catch me, you a couple years behind anyway. And then by the time you get to us, we on the other stuff anyway. So we just trying to do it. And not trying to be that, you know what? Worked very hard. Very, very hard for a very long time to get to where we are now. And that's where we are now. And next year we're going to be even stronger and then bigger.
Rellies
We got to be stronger before bigger.
Is futuristic.
Yeah.
Futuristic. The future of hospitality, not just in Atlanta, but globally, is Rellies Hospitality.
We have outposts everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You got an event, we got somebody there.
Period.
I might even know a cousin out there. Doesn't matter. I fly out there and we represent now. It's really, if I'm there, it's definitely Rellies Hospitality.
Yeah.
So if I got a cousin in Barcelona and we do an event, Rellies just did an event.
Do you have
in
a cousin
Barcelona.
in Barcelona?
Not yet.
Okay.
Wait, that doesn't sound right. Not that I know of. Jeez.
It's okay. I knew what you meant. Okay, we talked about we only know premium.
Wait, we didn't get to do your. So yeah, dude, like you do all that stuff.
Right.
Do it. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you don't have to charge more. Maybe you were getting experience.
Yeah.
In doing that. Maybe when you did that, you got more experience in sending out the envelopes or the stuff, right?
Right.
So now, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So now you have another service that you do.
Right, and I do feel like in the stages that I'm in, you know, like full transparency, I started operating this business back in October 2021, but not publicly until February 2022. And it's September now. I've had at least 18 to 20 events. I'm still learning a lot. I'm surprising myself. It's not as much of a challenge as I think it would be for other people, but I think I have a lot of support, and I have a lot of experience, and I don't know, I put everything into it. That's why I call it spirit and soul. My soul's in this shit. Like, it's completely in it. And so it's like, it hits different, like you were talking earlier. Like, when you're that invested and this is your livelihood, like, there's a switch that changes. It's like, no, this is how I have to eat, live, breathe it. So if I'm going to an event, it's because Spirit and Soul is about to either market, network, like, what is in it for Spirit and Soul, or I'm not coming. That's just how I see it these days. Like, oh, come visit me in New York. Is there a way I can do a pop-up? Is there a way for me to meet Issa Rae for her to be on my podcast or something? Like, I'm like, literally, if it can't relate to this podcast or this mobile bartending company I have, I don't really see the value in doing it, because that's how desperate I am. And I just think, and obsessive. I have learned in this process, I become I have probably an obsessive compulsive disorder, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with being successful in this thing, and so I'm not going to let go until I reach a certain level of success. And then when I do, I'm sure at that point I'll build another level, and I'm like, okay. Speaking of those levels, what was your goal originally when you were like, I created Rellies Hospitality, and I have this goal in mind. If I can beat this, I'm really doing good. And then when did it change? You know, like, when did you meet that goal? And it's like, okay, reevaluate, new goal. How many times is that happening?
It always happens. My first goal was to get an LLC. I didn't get to that part. So my first goal is to get an LLC. Nah, it is easy. But it's needing an LLC. Mm-hmm. Anybody go get an LLC. Mm-hmm. Anybody entrepreneur, I just go grab an LLC. Mm-hmm. Nah. We was just operating. Before, all them years, we didn't make no money. Mm-hmm. Then we made $700 as a DBA, doing business as Terrill, Patterson, doing business as Rellies Hospitality.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm.
Right? I didn't need no LLC. I ain't jumping the gun. Mm-hmm. No. Until we started getting those corporate people hitting us up. Mm-hmm. All right, time for an LLC. Mm-hmm. Get the LLC. Why? Because nobody want to cut no check for $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 to Terrill. Mm-hmm. They want to cut a check to Rellies Hospitality. So they know that it's going to a company, and then a company, then I can pay myself if I pay myself.
Right.
There's another thing. You got to figure out when it's the time to pay yourself. We ain't paid ourselves.
Help me.
Growing my company, for the years that we were making money, I have put 70 to 80% back into the company. Mm-hmm. So but look, I wasn't trying to grow bigger. You got to grow stronger first, like lifting weights. You got to grow stronger first, and then you grow out. Mm-hmm. Some people just try to grow out, and then you got nothing to stand on. Mm-hmm. And we were doing that right before COVID. We were just doing everything. It was lined up. And then COVID happened, and I look back, and we 100 feet out in the ocean with no safety vests.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, let me tread back to the beach. And then I started building a pier out. Mm-hmm. Now we solid all the way around. And COVID was a good thing because we was out there. I didn't even know. We were just doing so much work. I was just, oh yeah, we could do that. We could do that. We could do that because we could. Mm-hmm. Because we could.
Yeah.
And you know what? We could at that time. That was good. Mm-hmm. But now we got foundation, so we can do more than just that and have a backing. But yeah.
I think I learned a lot too in the process, or I'm sure clearly you have too. But like, that's why I'm not mad when I don't have wins or I face like challenges or something. I'm just kind of like, well, there's something to learn here. Let me catch this now when I'm in this phase versus catching this a year or two from now, you know, like, or, oh, I see that this might be a lane for me. You know what I feel like is a lane for me? Bachelorettes. Groups of girls, I don't know why I do so well. Like, give me a group of girls that will have the best time. The best time. Either it's a cocktail class, a freaking wedding, prepping for a bridal shower. Give me a group of girls that want a good time. I know how to show them a good time.
So here's another thing. As an entrepreneur, you got to know what your lane is. So we do our lane.
Women, not girls. Women, not girls. I said girls.
Oh,
no, you didn't. I said girls.
Yeah, women. So another thing we did, and which I would say that I suggest, don't know what you should or shouldn't do, is a lot of people say, no, why would you stay in your lane? You're limiting yourself. No, we stayed in our lane and then we killed our lane. Mm-hmm. You know, and then we can go into another lane. Like, we could do bachelorette parties. Mm-hmm. Are we going to be good at it? Yes. Are we going to be great? No, we're going to be real good. But then you have a company like you that would come in that would specialize in that. See, people don't understand you need to specialize in something. We specialize in staffing bars and staffing corporate events. Mm-hmm. We do everything else great. You know, if I see you doing some stuff like, dang, that look like a dope event. Well, I ain't getting mad at that because we ain't doing that.
That's what I be thinking. That's why it's like, it's not really competition.
Well, people think everything's a competition, man. You know, everybody want to be better than somebody else, man. Just put the blinders on and do your job.
Yeah.
Do your job. Just do your job.
Yeah.
We do our job.
I agree. Okay, we've talked a lot about Rellies Hospitality, being a small business owner, being an entrepreneur, what it looks like every single day.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I want to talk about the cocktail competition.
All right.
Let's talk about the Mixologist of the Year awards.
Yeah.
What started that and what these competitions look like. Basically, I'm gonna let you say it. Well, I'll say it. Well, basically, there's a mixology. You correct me if I'm wrong. There's a Mixology of the Year award every year. Well, every year. Mm-hmm. And to get to that point, there's these mini competitions, cocktail competitions, that's happening in neighborhoods throughout the city, mm-hmm. Atlanta, Nashville, Miami, and they're selecting the best of the best in that neighborhood, and those best of the best compete at the Mixology of the Year award, and then the winner of that wins the Mixologist of the Year, right?
Yes. Okay. The competition is the Most Prolific Bartender Competition. Moya's so is the whole thing, but the trophy that you win and the name of the competition really is the Most Prolific Bartender.
Got it.
Right? But it's Rellies Moya Mixologist of the Year awards. Mm-hmm. Most Prolific Bartender.
Got it.
Just like all the other companies have it, it's like they got the other ones. I don't know about
those companies,
yeah,
so we don't worry about
it. They ain't paying yet. No, I was kidding. No, but so question is what was the question?
The question is, how did it begin?
Okay.
Yeah.
How did it begin? Me and my homie Nick Newton. I was sitting there. We was at this place eating, and I'm like, man, I just want to do a Christmas party. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let's do a Christmas party for the Rellies people, and then our friends. We should do a Christmas party. Boom. All right, bet. So at the time, we were working with Fellowship, doing like some staff and some trainings and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I love them. You know, like talk about. I'm already doing good. We want to take it a step further. Let's call a company. Oh my gosh, this is a black company. He knows what he's doing. Trusting in a man. I appreciate that 100%. Mm-hmm, a lot of companies that say that they want to do better end up not doing it. They actually did it. Mm-hmm. I respect them 100% for that. I like them. So that's why the shout out goes to Fellowship, yeah. CJ and all that. So I said, you know what, we're going to do that Christmas work. I talked to CJ. He's like, you know, we have a space that you may be able to use. Thank you. Because we were working with each other, helping, you know, and that's why I give them the shout out and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And it had a venue that wasn't being used at the time. Mm-hmm. And it's like, cool. So we got the venue. He's like, well, what you going to do? And I was like, you know, I'm having a Christmas party. He's like, that's it? Now I'm thinking he's saying that's it, like that ain't enough. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, yeah, we have a Christmas party. He's like, that's it? I was like,
So you start talking out your ass?
We're going to have, we're gonna give out awards for the best bartender, best chef, best DJ. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's it. We're gonna have a Mixologist of the Year award. We're gonna have a bartender from each side of town. The best one compete, and then whoever wins Mixologist of the Year. Oh, okay, that sounds good. All right, cool. Yeah, you get the space. I'm like, all right, cool.
I've done that before and totally did not.
So this is officially how it started. Then I'm trying to put it together in like 3 weeks, and I got no. You know how when you do something, and we just got to this point where people are even reposting anything that we do, right? So at this time, I'm sending the stuff out, ain't nobody hitting, right? And we like a week and a half out, 10 days out. We got the space, all this stuff.
You meaning like participant, like people to actually be in the, like, what do you mean? Nobody's hitting? People as in attendees.
The event.
Okay.
How about that?
This was whole last year?
Event. No, this is the year before that.
Oh, okay. I'm like, it was a turnout last year now.
The whole event. Nothing. Crickets. I talk to Nick. I'm like, man, forget this. This ain't about to go. We ain't got no time. Nah. He was like.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah.
Nick. Okay.
He was like, man, I'm just going to tell you, maybe nobody's responding. Because I'm like giving out awards and all this stuff. He's like, well, maybe nobody's responding because they don't know if they want it or not. Nobody's doing it. Maybe they don't know that they want it. I said, nigga, just like that.
They don't know that they want it, like,
because it hasn't been, nobody's doing it.
Okay.
It's like, how you gonna know if you like orange juice if you ain't never had an orange juice? Orange juice from an orange. So, and that's the only time I said that. I was like, nigga, what? It's easy to say when you ain't coming out all this money.
So that's when you developed the cocktail competitions in neighborhoods?
This is, well, we had to do this part, right?
Okay.
So this is exactly how it started. So I was like, all right, you know what? Forget it then. We're going to do it. We couldn't get no bartenders to compete.
Got it.
It's the hardest thing to do. I don't care what nobody say. The hardest thing to do is get a bartender to compete in a competition.
Or get them on a podcast. Keep going.
But, so, that's the hardest thing. We couldn't get nobody. So then Alberto, that's my homie, I'll do it. I was like, oh, bet. So since he was in it, then I can market that. Like, hey, we have a competition. It's in 5 days. This is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. Well, who's in it? Well, Alberto was in it from, at the time he was at the Omni. Alberto from the Omni is in there. Oh, I could be, oh, yeah, I'm going to jump in. So if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have no competition because nobody would want to join the competition. So shout out to Alberto. Alberto Laurez with Basement Cocktails. Yeah. So that's how it started. And then like 2 days before, we had like 150 people get the tickets. We had Chef Sosa sponsor the food, and the Chef Lifer Award, and we had the venue. And then I had a friend come in and she sang the national anthem.
This was 2020.
2020. And it was a big thing. Okay. Oh, we ain't had no sponsor for the cocktail competition. And I was with Chauncey, and I think Nick was there. And we ended up going to Tin Lizzy where Midtown J was.
Shout out Midtown J.
Yeah, shout out to Midtown J. We ran into Kaylin with Angel's Envy.
Yeah, shout out to Kaylin. They already been on the podcast. Yay!
Yeah, there you go. Got all-stars. Got the all-stars. And I was talking to him and realized he was working with Angels, and you know he was letting me know that maybe I wasn't going about it the right way, but it also wasn't enough time to do anything. So I was like, all right, cool. That's what's up. This is what it is. Thanks just for your time. And we were just hanging out anyway. It's just you talking. Sometimes you're out, you talking. That happens. And then like 2 days later, he's like, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna sponsor that competition with some bottles.
Nice.
So the very first competition, Angel's Envy sponsored it.
Oh, shout out to Kaylin and Angel's Envy. That's a good one.
Yep. So after that, it was great. Got the videographer there. Everything was beautiful. And then the guy broke the camera, so we got no video. All right, so.
Oh, gosh.
Sets us back another year.
Right. And so 2021, tell us what that entailed. Maybe not how it developed, but let's just talk about the finished product. Like, what was that?
It was dope. Talked to Isla from Bacardi.
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, man, it's dope. Jumped on, like, the first three. And, kind of like made it official. So we had a couple different spots. The first spot was the Omni. Starting last year, the first competition was at the Omni and the Battery with Angel's Envy.
Okay.
We only know premium. It just happened that way.
Listen, that's how powerful your words are. Do you wake up in the mirror sometimes and say, "We only know premium"? Is that what you do?
Yeah.
You're lying.
Right after I brushed my teeth, I said, "We only know premium."
Oh,
nah.
I'm done.
But that just happened. And we didn't even have enough money for that.
But you did it.
Well, we did it. My brother looked out, threw us some cash. We got that. And then, so thank you. And then that was our first investor. Thank you, sir. And after that, Bacardi had a couple of them. And then by then, it gained momentum. And we added 4 more. And then end of the year, we had, you were there, right?
Yep.
We had the Hospitality Awards ceremony again. Because the final at the end of the year is really the Hospitality Awards ceremony.
And what is the goal? What was your goal with this award ceremony?
My goal was to give the people who's been working in this industry hard every day, trying to do their best and growing themselves, their knowledge, their businesses, all that type of stuff. Give them the recognition, right?
Yeah.
I didn't see. Maybe there was some other awards shows here in Atlanta. I didn't see any. So
let's be clear. Also, this wasn't a show. You weren't doing this for a show. You were really doing it for us.
Oh, the whole thing was.
I mean, if it looked like a show, it was a show. But I really think, like, just in being there, it was for us. In that, you could feel that energy in the room.
Look,
like, that's what made people show up. It was like, this is a party for you. Are you coming?
The whole thing is, look, it is for us. Period.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think about it. The first one, we had Angels Envy come on as a sponsor for the competition alcohol. We did the whole event. You know, we had the chef. He came in. He sponsored the food. It's for us. We did the drinks. It's for us. The DJ came in. That's for us. The venue, they let us get that venue for that because it was for us.
Right.
It was for us.
It's for us.
All right. Now, next year, what happened is we had the whole competition, and now it's leading up to that. But the biggest thing is still our platform for us to get our awards. I built it like this. I would love to win every last one of them awards, and I picked the award out because that's what I would like. These ain't no cheap trophies. These solid crystal trophies. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no $50-$20 trophy. These like $200-$300 a piece.
These ain't no dollar store trophies.
These ain't no dollar store. Hell no.
A little,
I want something that you can put.
Frame.
You know, I want you to put that at your house or wherever you at, and I want it to be beautiful. Right?
A conversation piece.
Oh, what's
Be
this?
Be proud.
I won. That's my bartender award. I won DJ of the year. You know what I'm saying? But it was to give everybody the recognition. What I didn't know was that doing that was boosting the bartenders and everybody in the industry up a little more because it's more visibility.
Yeah.
People are now, it's starting to bring the hospitality company together as a whole.
Yes.
Because in Atlanta it's like spread out. Now people are starting to know and mingling around with people a lot more. And that's the love part.
Yeah, I agree.
So the biggest thing is it does look like a show, and I'm glad it does. We try to do it the best that we can. It was beautiful the last time when you said we got the beautiful venue, we had the beautiful sponsors we had.
It's a gala, it's black tie.
It's a gala, like you dress
something
up.
Something to get dressed up for.
You win your award, it's a night for y'all. And yeah, the other thing was when I did the very first one, it was like this. We're going to do this. If we do it this way, we got to do it the best we can.
Yeah.
Because either one, we're going to be that
we're establishing
award ceremony.
Yeah.
Or if another company comes in with a lot more money, they're going to have to match it or do better. If you match it, then we still are, those people. But if we still own the event. But if you do it better, then it's yours.
Yeah.
But we raise the bar for something that's needed for us. You know what I mean?
Right.
So with that, we market that bartender, we market that DJ, we market everyone out there. We don't ask nothing from the bartender or the server or the
Except
DJ.
their time. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you want to be celebrated and recognized? Great.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Come on down.
Will say what I do love about all of it, especially the cocktail competition part is, as a mobile bartender, I'm not in a traditional establishment or bar. So it's like, how do I stay up on the trends of what's going on outside of doing my own research? But like, to me, that is doing my own research. If I'm around you guys, if I'm visiting your bars and I'm going to cocktail competitions and I see you guys all doing a certain trend, I'm like, okay, so that's something that I need to be incorporating actually. So I don't know if you know that, but that's what I get out of it as an attendee when I go. I'm like, oh, so this is what we're doing now. Bet, let me find a way to incorporate that in some recipes, or let me experiment with that. Or also, I use it as an opportunity to network because I have a podcast, and so you guys are the guests. So I'm just like, who's going to be the next guest? I'm here in the room, like, who won? Or
we need to put something together.
I mean, I'm here for it.
We could do something when you win. You can come on the show, talk about that.
Totally down.
Because we're doing a whole lot of other things with the winners and all that type of stuff too. But Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yep.
Or a live interview afterwards or something.
Yeah, do all that. We can't do everything. Like I'm doing this because I love it and I'm trying to give back to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And now, now we get a couple dollars. You know what I mean? Like you shouldn't be. Anybody can't be mad that I'm getting a couple dollars now. As much as we put through and all that, I'm glad to almost break even on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, hopefully in the future I'm making.
Yeah.
But,
you will.
But that's not why we started.
Right.
Know what I mean?
Especially now that you're in Nashville and Miami. Can we talk about the expansion there?
So.
What made you want to expand?
Oh, man.
Was it always the goal?
First of all, we know what the goal was in the very beginning. We didn't know.
Okay.
We just did it. On the
when did that become a goal?
Now the goal. All right. I'm going to put it out there just like this, guys. We did it last year. It was successful. Right? We were doing events. There's like 50 to 60 to 70 people continuously coming out to the competitions. Did the final. We had 323 people dressed to the nines. Had a great time. Took that momentum and came into the next year. It was only going to do 4 in Atlanta, 4 in Nashville, 4 in Miami. The reason for expansion is because you have to grow or you can't become stagnant. We always like to keep moving. Who knows? Somebody could have been curating another competition. I don't know. So, it was to do 4, 4, and 4. We sent the list out in January. We sat and talked with the brands.
Okay.
And then we had the whole year mapped out with the brands, but then we had to add 3 more for Atlanta. Okay. The first one in Nashville. The first one out of market is always the scariest. We go to Nashville, and I don't know anybody in Nashville.
Not anybody. Did you ever hit up that person I told you to hit up?
Yes.
How did that go?
So we went to Nashville.
Sorry.
We went. No, she's cool.
Okay.
We went to Nashville, and I was very scared because you're out of market, and I didn't know if it'll work. You know, we had a lot riding on it. We said we were going to. We promoted it. We marketed it. We're going out there. We're going to Miami. We go out there. It's a little struggle because it's hard because nobody knows us. We're not like a liquor company. We're a hospitality company, and we're black. First of all, everybody, I know some people may think it doesn't matter if you're black, and that's great, but it does.
Who?
A lot.
Even I know
Just
it matters,
you know.
and I have definitely been on that spectrum of people at some point in my life, like, color doesn't matter. I was definitely one of those losers at one point in my life.
Color matters.
I definitely was, and I changed. I'm no longer that person. So I'm like, if I've come to understand that, who still doesn't understand that?
I'm just saying.
Sorry, not to dwell. Anyway,
no.
Continue.
No, I'm just saying it matters. I know it matters.
Yeah.
People knows it matters.
Yeah.
So we're going into a new market. We do Germantown, and we get there, and it's just like, wow, like 130 people.
That showed up?
Yeah, we had 70 tickets, and all the tickets, we sold out the tickets, and then the capacity in the place was like 120 or something like that. We was like 130.
They were
in a market that we didn't even know that even would do it. So once we did that, it's like, oh, talk about being nervous though. But then also it's like, oh snap, okay, we got something. And then went.
You know what that sounds like? It might even be more lit there than in Atlanta because it's like sometimes we got so much going on here, and it's like not enough type stuff going on out there in those areas.
It's not because it's not as big of a city, but also you got to know people here in Atlanta know me as Terrill, the bartender who started Rellies Hospitality. Oh, he owns this little hospitality company. That's how they talk. Oh, he owns a little hospitality company. Yeah. You know, oh yeah, he doing competitions. When you go out of state, everybody knows me as Terrill Patterson, the owner of Rellies Hospitality, a businessman.
Period.
Georgia Minority Development Supply Council, a minority business enterprise.
Period.
We have scholarships, funds for students in universities, so they see me as a businessman, not a ex-bartender who's trying to get a couple dollars on something else. So I say all that to say, respect it now.
Okay. So we're going to finish up this and talk about a little bit about Miami as well after this short break. Thank you.